I loved the first illustration that you had, I think, in that book where you had a picture of a heart that was drawn on the sand next to the ocean. And it said, "I love you, Joanne." And if you came up and you're walking down the beach, you wouldn't assume that that heart and that message in there was the product of water just rolling up against the sand, okay? We immediately see a message, we've got information, and we say, someone, intelligence, created that message.
Well, we use this kind of reasoning all the time, and it's precisely because of what we know about the cause and effect structure of the world. Bill Gates has said that DNA is like a software program, but much more complex than any we've ever created. Well, we know from experience that it takes a programmer to make a software program. And we know that generally, that whenever we see information, especially when we find it in a digital form, there has always been a mind at work in producing that information. So when we find information at the foundation of life, when we see evidence of big infusions of information in the history of life, I argue that we're seeing decisive evidence of the activity of a designing intelligence because we know of no other cause in the whole range of our experience that is sufficient to produce information in that kind of a form. And we have, in fact, as we've been talking in previous programs, we also have very strong reasons now for doubting that the Darwinian mechanism can build both the genetic and the epigenetic information necessary to build the complex animal forms that arise in the Cambrian. So we have both a negative case against Darwinism and other similar materialistic evolutionary theories. And in my book, I show that it's not just the neo-Darwinian evolutionary model that fails to account for the origin of information, but the other newer models that have been proposed as well. And on the other side, we have positive evidence, positive experience of a cause and effect pattern in the world where we see that it is a mind or an intelligent agent which invariably is responsible for the generation of information. So I think there's a very powerful case to be made for intelligent design. And the ironic thing, the somewhat mischievous thing, if you will, is that in formulating this case, we've made the case for intelligent design using the same method of the same standard method of historical scientific reasoning that Charles Darwin himself pioneered in The Origin of Species.